What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Rich here to talk some NBA player props over on Prizepicks for Wednesday, December 14th. We have a decent slate for you tonight. Some really crappy games, not ones I'm looking forward to, but there are some player props that I do like. Going back to Monday for our last video, unfortunately for me, big flop. The Miami Heat and the Indiana Pacers went back to the 70s with a nasty game of neither team scoring over 90 points. Kristaps Porzingis got hurt, and Jaylen Brown decided that was going to be the only day he didn't want to rebound, coming off, I believe, 12 rebounds yesterday. Those are the breaks. That happens. But let's dive into the slate tonight, and let's talk about the player props that I do like heading into tonight. For all the high-flying action, take a step back and relax. It's time to count that money, the NBA props. No look any further. You know what time it is. Presented by Prizepicks, NBA props. Let's count that money, man. All right, so there are a couple players on this list that I'm still split between, but I want to give you the options. First is DeMar DeRozan. His rebound prop over against the New York Knicks tonight is 5, but Zach LaVine's is 4.5. Now, according to our data, the New York Knicks do allow more rebounds to opposing shooting guards opposed to small forwards, but unfortunately for me, DeMar DeRozan has been the thorn in the side of the Zach LaVine rebound prop. It's been hitting a lot. It's been hitting often, and then all of a sudden, DeMar DeRozan decided he's the rebounder now. He's the guy who needs to get all the rebounds done, and it's been frustrating. You know, you see Zach LaVine hitting the over in 3 games in a row, and then 2 games since he hasn't been getting any rebounds, and you ask yourself, well, why is that? And I'm not really sure why that's the case, but DeMar decided he's going to be the rebounder now, and he's been going on an absolute tear. So you see the 2 games that Zach LaVine doesn't hit, all of a sudden DeMar DeRozan decides he's going to get 9 rebounds and 13 rebounds. That's so unnecessary, DeMar. You don't have to do that, but he has hit him 5 of 5. So if you do like this number slightly better, I do like it over 5. I don't mind Zach LaVine either, especially with the matchup. I think both are good. Which one you take, it's kind of up to you, right? You see the data here. 15th in the NBA in terms of allowing rebounds to opposing small forwards. DeMar's prop is 4.5 on the books, but minus 155, so that's why it is 5.0 on Prizepicks. Averaging 8 over his last 5. You've seen he's hit over 5 in each of his last 5 games. We have him, his average right around 8.1, standard dev about 3.2. So it's right there, right? He's deviating somewhere between 5 and 10 rebounds. So I think it's a great spot for him. The edge to the over is pretty high, 59%. But if you prefer Zach LaVine because of the matchup, I can't blame you for it. I think both are good numbers. LaVine's line hasn't moved much, mainly because his numbers are dropping over the past couple days because, again, DeMar has been rebounding more. But I think both are fine numbers, and you can't take both. I'm not sure which one is the core play yet. I'll probably post that in the comments a little bit later. I think it's probably going to be DeMar, though. The way he's been playing, the way he's been active on the glass, I think I'd be more willing to play there. I think you're playing at a push and hoping for an over. Versus LaVine, it's kind of split between whether he's going to actually rebound in this one, but the matchup is really good for him, and I think he can get it done. Now, going over to another core play is Markelle Fultz under his fantasy score. You see the Atlanta Hawks are ranked 26th in the league in allowing fantasy score to opposing point guards. Fultz has had a bit of an up and down season so far this year, but the bigger thing here is that he's just not hitting his fantasy score. He's only gone over once in each of the last 5 games, only getting to 31.8, which is a fine number. He hit 23.1 in a game, but a game where he's got 9.2, 6.4. The variance for Fultz is out of control, and it seems like he's trending more towards an under most nights, so I'm definitely making that a core play, taking the under on Markelle Fultz's fantasy score. Over the last 5 games, he's been very inconsistent and not scoring overly well, somewhere around 17 points per game. So it's a great number for him. I think he's probably going to go under. We'll see if he can get it done in the blocks and steals department, but I would not expect him to. And even the scoring output for him has been pretty modest. He does a lot more on the boards and getting assists. So I think it's a fine matchup. I think he's going to have it's going to be tough sledding for him up against potentially DeJounte Murray guarding him as the primary defender. We'll see, but I definitely like the under here. I think it's a really good spot for him. The standard dev is high, but I think with his last 5 projection and kind of where he's been slotting at over the past few days, I'm willing to roll with the under. And the flex play for me is Lou Dort up against Miami tonight. The turnovers over 1.5 looks really good. They're forcing about 3.9 turnovers per game to opposing shooting guards. You know, he's slightly juiced to the over, minus 120, but he's been averaging well over 3. So I think it's a really good spot for him to go over, playing against a tough defense that does have active hands. You look at Dort and what he's done over the past few games. You see I have it highlighted here already. 4 turnovers, 3 turnovers, 6 turnovers, 2 turnovers. He's doing this fairly often, so I do like this number as well. I think more of a flex option. Turnovers can be dicey. He doesn't handle the ball a ton, but I think he will do enough. Maybe we can have him step out of bounds, throw a pass out of nowhere, and we can get that over pretty easily, but I do like it. I think the data supports it, and as you can see, the ceiling for him in some sloppy games is definitely there, so I do like Dort as well. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for today. You can see on the model kind of what we're looking at. I zoomed it in because someone in the comments said it was too small. I made it a little bit easier for you guys to see all the data, but there it is for you. That's what I'm looking at today. DeMar DeRozan over his rebounds, Zach LaVine over his rebounds. Pick one. I think I would take one and not both. Take both if you're feeling dicey, but I'd probably just take one. And then I have Markelle Fultz under his fantasy score as a core play as well. And then Lou Dort is more of a flex play just because of the turnovers. I'm not all in on the turnovers, but I think it's a pretty good spot for him as well, juice to the over at -120 on DraftKings. So those are the plays we like today. Make sure to drop me a like and subscribe for future content. And as always, if you tail, give Prizepicks hell, and if we fail, do not bail. We'll be back tomorrow with more NBA picks and bets over on Prizepicks. I'll see you guys later, and I'm out. Peace.